February is over. However, I hope everyone had an amazing month of February and an awesome Valentine's Day. Speaking of Valentine's Day, that's actually my birthday, so that's the topic of today's video. I was around 15 years old when I started this little art tradition of making myself a birthday post. It's also around the same time I started my art Instagram. This year in particular, I also did a little animation, which if you watch my YouTube shorts, you would be familiar with. For 16, I had the best birthday imaginable. I had a little tea party that was Hearts Day themed, right? Of course, I always have a theme, but I don't like this post as much as the others, actually. Age 17, I definitely think I stepped up my game. I did a little art style change, which I think is cool, and I love all the little details I added. Very cutesy. Now, 18 years old has to be one of my favorites, but honestly, it kind of got topped by this year. I think I just keep getting better. Speaking of my art Instagram account, I measure how much I've posted in a year based on how far down my last birthday post was. Now, for this year, I actually had an issue where if I hadn't post a bunch of my paintings the week leading up to my birthday, I would have had a birthday post only 2 posts away from another one. So I'm trying to get better with posting. I'm sorry, guys. So now that you know, let's move on to 19th birthday post. Starting off, let's break down this sketch and line art. So if you didn't know, I'm a 2000s baddie through and through. I was born in the late 2000s, and I know, at least for my cousins and some kids I've met, they're like, oh, you're not a real 2000s kid because you were born in 2007, you grew up in the 2010s era. But trust, a lot of things carried over, guys. I had silly bands and slap bracelets and a couple other things that you did too. Some of my best early memories involve pulling out the CD case to play them in the car, playing on my 3DS. My family had the bulky TV, so trust, my DVD collection is out of this world. I also had a mini DVD player that I would take everywhere I go. Wrapping back around to the sketch, I decided that I wanted to build off of my last idea of my 18th birthday post where I say level 18. Essentially, I'm turning myself into a 3D-esque game and having me also stand outside of it. Outside of the digital realm, yeah, I think that's kind of fun. On the secondary screen, I did put what would be an Animal Crossing celebration. I do wish I included a little bit more at the bottom screen so you could kind of tell, but there's a little piece of information that you might not have noticed. Now on to coloring. I'll talk a little bit more about the details of the drawing while I'm here. So you may have noticed I included a lot of little ladybug motifs throughout, and I did that because of my recent obsession with little critters. I don't know, something about them gets me. I always had this idea for using my nickname and tying it into something or some project that I'm doing, and one of those happened to be Lovebug, which I think I got that nickname because back in this had to be pre-K. I was playing outside on the playground. We were having a little sprinkler day, and the sun was out. It was so beautiful. It was so nice. And I went to go grab my towel, and a ladybug was on it. And now most people would be like, oh my gosh, you're so lucky. That's so great. It's a ladybug. It's a cute bug, right? I flipped out. I came crying to my teacher, please help get this off my towel. It's freaking me out. She's like, no, it's good luck. It's good luck. I did not believe her. I went home, told my family. They all tried their best not to laugh at me, but from then on, I've had the little nickname of Lovebug. So, or my great grandmother, she'll call me my little ladybug, So I think it grew on me. It's always been there, but I like the idea now, essentially. Thinking back on it, the symbolism has always been there. One thing you may not know about me is that I really love tea, like trying all different types of teas from different places, and I love tea sets even more. I have a couple, about 4. I would say, yeah, about 4. But my very first one was porcelain and it had little ladybugs on it. Isn't that like so cute and iconic? Also, during my first semester of starting college, I was walking past the bookstore coming from one of my classes, and something at the corner caught my eye. Is this little tiny planner in the bookstore, and it had little ladybugs on it too. I will try to insert pictures of both the tea set and the planner. There's a couple of other ladybug related stories I have, but maybe I'll get into those another time. I just think ladybugs are like a small symbol, something I feel represented by, so yeah, that's why I tried to include them all throughout the piece. Moving on to other things, do you guys have any like birthday traditions? And if you do, please comment them down below. For my birthdays, I had a couple of sleepovers when I was younger that were like very like thematic. Like we'd have a rock star sleepover with like boas and foam mics and things like that. I also had a couple of other ones in there that I just think were really awesome. Love my mom. Shout out to her for like planning the most elaborate birthday parties for me when I was younger. As of recent years, I did a couple of tea style parties, and like most recently over the past like my high school birthdays, I've been going to like concerts, which is like a love of mine. This year I actually went to the Twice concert, and oh my gosh, it was so good. I went with my friend Taylor because she's also into K-pop, and like guys, I have to tell you, I don't have like a big history with K-pop. I think the first ever group I listened to was Red Velvet, and I was introduced to a lot more K-pop like styles from my one friend who was really into it, and she would like just make me playlists to test out different like artists I liked. I ended up really liking Red Velvet. Of course, it's still at the top of my list. I like Twice, Stacy, and New Jeans is my most recent one. There is a kind of common theme. I haven't found a boys group I really like and I'm really invested into, and honestly, I'm okay with that. So I don't know what that says about me. I love supporting the girls. Yeah. Ooh, if you notice like little notifications coming through, that's because I was actually coloring this page on my birthday. So I tried to finish the sketch and the drawing. So I was in my art. I have 2 art classes back to back. One goes from 1 to 4, and then the other after that goes from 4:30 to 7. They are the longest art lectures I have ever been in. They're both art history, but one's like art history, like including like architecture, and then the other is art history including film. And so, oh my gosh, it kills me to be in both of them back to back. Like I literally thought I was gonna have to swap out, but I didn't. I stuck through and I'm doing fine. But during those classes, because they're so long, like I will have like my lectures being recorded on my computer, and then I'll use my tablet to draw. So during that first 3-hour period, I sketched this out. I had like finished my sketch from the night before, and then that next block of time I outlined it, so I did all the line art. And then the next day was my birthday, so I ended up coloring it all then. I have a trend of trying to finish these by the time it's my birthday, and I always finish them like exactly on my birthday. Or if you see last year's, it's posted 2 days after. So I don't always make the deadline, but so far I've been pretty consistent. Yeah, you should, if you don't have like a little art tradition and you like making art, you're an artist, or you just want to get into it, I feel like this is a good start. Trying to draw yourself characterized is really fun, and you get to emphasize the little parts of you that you notice the most. Like for example, like I have 2 moles, like one at the corner of my eye and then one on my eyelid. that have been there forever, and I feel like if you're not really looking at me, you wouldn't notice it. So when my friends will draw me, they never draw it, but like when I draw it myself, I always include them because they're a feature that I really like about myself, little detail. And it also helps you to grow your art. I don't know, you always have your face for reference, so I think that's just helpful. We're getting close to the end of the drawing now. You can see I added some lighting with the light pen tool. I made sure everything looked very airbrush-esque because I feel like that gives that nostalgic 2000s vibe. I also added some texture to the pants with this basic watercolor brush. I think that already comes with Procreate. I hope you see all the details of the textures and colors and everything, and I hope you like it, but we're not done quite yet. Because with each year's drawing, I also like to do a little update about me. So usually I limit myself on how much information I want to put in here. Like I won't put every single one of my favorite movies, and I won't put every single show and every musical artist, just because I feel like my music taste is so inconsistent and it like goes across so many different genres. But no, I was like, you know what, this is the true me. I'm all over the place. I have a lot of interest and I like a lot of things, so this is what we're putting here. And now we're officially done! Let me know how you feel about the drawing. Do you think we improved from last year? Because I definitely think we did. Go check it out on my Instagram as well. Here's what it looks like. I have a 2-part slide so you can see the fact and without the fact. And now you've officially made it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for sticking around, for hanging out, for waiting to see the final result. Like I said again, my Instagram's up on the screen if you want to check it out there. And happy Valentine's Day, even though we're way into March. Yeah. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Quack.